Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream. We're live again. I'm Medic, and with me is Jess Goat. And today we got a lot still to handle because we have not yet decided the teams that make it through the 8 in total into the quarterfinals onto the playoffs on Friday. Jess, hell of a day so far, isn't it?
I know. You're just joining me all beautifully fresh-faced. I'm sort of just getting into the trenches now.
I love your lashes.
Thank you very much. Shout out to our beautiful makeup artists who have done a fantastic job so far and will continue to throughout
Not much
the
to
week.
do, Jess. Let me be clear.
Milosh is always so nice to me. That's so nice. Nevertheless, I do enjoy the eyelashes, but probably more important than my eyelashes, a lot more important than my eyelashes, is that a lot of the groups have already been decided, but the group that we're digging into today is one that I have a vested interest in, purely out of the fact that it would mean that certain regions are strongly represented throughout the playoffs, and other regions not so much.
Yeah, it is all still on APAC. And it's the possibility to have 2 APAC teams in playoffs for the first time since SI 2019, Fnatic and Norengo, who went up to play against one another at the event. That's how long it has been. So let's talk about our 2 teams. Of course, Furia versus DWG KIA, and up first is Furia. LATAM, they came in and they actually looked pretty good, but lost a lot of points in day 2.
You know what? You could have fooled me in thinking that Furia was actually much higher placed, had a lot more points than they have, if you had just showed me some of their rounds without the score on it. That is how close Furia seems to get, and they're on the precipice of greatness. And I know for a fact that, yes, maybe Fresh refers to them as fantasy esports rather than Furia esports, and that's a fair enough assumption due to the fact that they haven't performed consistently as a whole cohort. So that is the one thing that they are going to have to work on here. Do you know that even with the points that they have, they are still within contention to make the top 2? Which is unreal because they have 2 points. They have 1 overtime win. That is how close this group is. So they have a lot to play for right now. Obviously, the cards would have to fall in their favor, but their opponents at DWG KIA, they are like, whoo, they need to win this, Milosh. They need to get some kind of points from this.
The pressure is definitely on DWG KIA in this because, as you see the division, it's 8 points for DWG, 8 for Space Station, 6 for Empire, and 2 for Furia. Everybody is within striking distance. It just depends on who beats what. Imagine Furia wins here and Empire beats Space Station. Oh my good God.
Stop.
It can go genuinely either way. But there's DWG KIA again. Katsang, Ring, Yas, Wookieman, and Coated. Saw them this morning as they're getting ready, getting their PCR tests as well in the middle of the tournament. And you know what? They looked very comfortable, very cozy. And they just seemed unshaken through the whole tournament, which, frankly, it makes a lot of sense. They've got 8 points in their position in such an incredibly tight group.
They have SSG, one of the best teams inside of, let me just backtrack. They're the best team coming out of North America. They have one of the highest rated LAN teams from Europe in their group. They have a severely strong team from Latin America, Furia, in their group, and they are still topping it. That is how dominant DWG KIA has been, and if you had to fight through the trenches to get yourself to playoffs, DWG KIA has done that. I will say, though, we criticized them in the 6 Mexico Major, and we said, okay, what was their weakness? It was their minimal map pool. I know we'll get the map videos up soon, and I think they've fixed that because I'm looking over their maps for the past, few months since June the 1st, and I am seeing a lot of plays on a lot of different maps, and are we going default?
Huh.
Okay.
Right. That's honestly a way to kind of prove yourself and just say...
You're going on Rin's turf, though.
Yeah, I mean, most maps are Rin's turf, and it just depends... Is the other team making mistakes? If you make mistakes, Rin will pounce on you immediately. You cannot falter when Rin is on the other side. But Coated, Katsang are also showing up, and Yas is always the champ on the team. A lot to look at here for DWG KIA. Of course, we get to cast. We have the pleasure of casting DWG KIA, and despite seeing what they're doing in APAC sometimes, in APAC North, and some of the failures they've had here in Stage 3, the way that they qualified, pretty much squeezing through the APAC quals in here. Internationally, they seem to have learned a lot from Mexico, but we're still in groups. If they can make it out to playoffs, that, in my opinion, will be the real first test for them here in Sweden. But Furia cannot be underestimated under any circumstance.
Absolutely not.
It is a team that can pounce on you at any point. And, Fresh mentioned this and really mentioned it on day one, which fair enough, is fantasy esports as Furia. But everybody showed up on the team.
I will say, we saw Miracle. I mean, we often say it's sometimes the lender show, the fantasy show. I want to shout out to Miracle, actually surprised me convincingly in a couple of those matches that he too deserves to have that spotlight sometimes. I want to say about that map, Vito, before we sort of get into the nitty-gritty of things, is that this map does heavily favor DWG KIA, but in their last 3 appearances on this map, they've gone to OT. So it is a map that they struggle to close out in regulation time. So is that something that Furia is looking to? Maybe, but if you're looking over to Furia and how they perform on Clubhouse, the last time they played it against MIBR, they got smashed 7-1.
Yeah.
MIBR used them as a vacuum cleaner and was just wiping the floor with you. So I'm not sure why in a match where you have a last shot to get yourself back into the top 2, you decide to go to the stomping ground of one of the most fearsome players inside of APAC North, and you go, let's try our luck here.
Given how things have been also within Copa Elite and the entire LATAM structure, being smashed 7-1 on Clubhouse by MIBR is nothing. It's not pretty. That should not be happening if you're here. Sometimes you have a bad day, it happens. Best of 1 series have the potential to show this sort of thing. But you know what? I think it's time to leave it then to our casters and see exactly how it goes down in Clubhouse. That's me, and Jess will be back in just a bit to break things down. But for the game, it's wonderful Hanover, and it's Furia versus DWG KIA. Enjoy.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome as we get ready to start our next match. We do have a little bit of a technical delay, so stand with us here for a moment, but we will be starting the match momentarily. And I've got Ace here with me, ready to deep dive into this rematch, of course, from earlier in the tournament. And what a rematch this will be, given the current state of this group.
Sorry, buddy, just swallowed.
You're good there.
I'm
a little too excited for this match.
Well, exactly that. I'm just getting myself back on a level here. Fury versus DWG, as you said, this is massive. The last group that we've got left to sew up is right here in Group D. So there's another match going on the other stream as well that are going to be looking intently at this one. Empire versus SSG, 2 of our biggest names, obviously. They're going to be looking to see what happens with DWG KIA here. If DWG KIA get the win, I'm not 100% sure mathematically whether they guarantee themselves through, but it's getting very close, and they're going to be locking down one of those spots, and that is not good news for SSG and Empire. We're going to lose one of our potentially biggest names here at the Sweden Major if that's the case. So Furia, it all rests on their shoulders. Can they spoil the party? Can they keep this group alive? Can they keep the fire burning until those matches later on?
Not to mention, of course, Space Station, one of the last North American teams still in contention for the playoffs, also fighting for survival for that region as well. So once again, folks, if you're wanting to check that match out, be sure to go ahead and follow along with it over on our Bravo stream at twitch.tv/Rainbow6Bravo or /Rainbow6Bravo on your preferred streaming platform of choice. We can talk more about this matchup, though, which is going to be a little bit different than the last time we saw these 2 teams play, mainly because of the map being different this time. Last time we saw these 2 teams go at each other a few days ago, that was on Coastline, a very, very different map, both thematically and in terms of playstyle, to Clubhouse, which we're going to be going into here in just a couple of seconds.
I'm looking forward to a Clubhouse game between these 2 because it's one of those maps, I'd put it in the bracket of every team needs to be able to play Clubhouse. Simple as that. It's one of the staple maps. Yep, you've got teams that'll, maybe have a good villa or a good cafe. Those can be your outliers. That's fine, but you better be able to play on Clubhouse if you want to come and win tournaments, is the top and bottom of it, because the likelihood is you're going to be seeing it when you get through to that best of 3 stage in particular. This is going to be an absolute belter, I've no doubt. As you say, it was a great game the other day, and I think we're going to have more of the same here. Furia, they've got a little bit of a speed bump to get over in that they're having these great starts in games. We saw them get the rounds against Empire, but then they just seem to be switching off. They sort of get figured out halfway through the game, and teams are able to just have a really good run at them and just come back into it and get it over the line. DWG KIA, we sort of don't know what to expect a little bit. They came into it like a firecracker. They just came in and really lit things up, got themselves a few big wins on day one, and everybody was like, wow, what's going on here? And then they've just slipped a little bit day two and shown that they are beatable, and that's been one of the problems for them in APAC North. Great performance, off performance, great performance, and just lacking that consistency a little bit. They can't just rely on Yas, they need the others in there, particularly Rin. Want to see plenty from him. Damwon, this is your opportunity.
The good news is the last time these two teams played, even aside from Yas as well as Rin, we saw an amazing individual performance coming out from Coded, who served virtually as a sniper from the outside for this team when they played on Coastline. Now, probably not going to be able to find as much efficiency playing that very, very similar play style on a map like Clubhouse, mainly because, first of all, Furia are not going to be as aggressive in the early round. They're not going to be trying to go for things like window peeks and hop-outs. This is just not something you see that often, especially in an early round scenario on Clubhouse. So we'll lose a bit of his potency there, and we'll have to see, once again, those other mainstays that you were talking about, like Yas and Rin, try to pick up the pacing there. At the same time, Furia has shown a tendency on occasion to be a little bit reliant on that aggressive play to make things happen, so we could still see a little bit of it on some of the sites, such as the basement extended room, as well as a few others. We're going to go ahead and bring up the... We're going to go ahead and go into the break, I believe, here, folks. So give us just a moment, and we'll be back with the start of this game, as I believe we are having a little bit of an extended issue. So stick with us, and we'll be back in just a moment. Oh, excuse me, never mind. We are heading in game. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be DWG Gaming going up against Furia here, as DWG KIA currently controls the fan vote 60 to 40%. Let's go ahead and see who will come out on top of this one as we get into the map.
It's absolutely no surprise seeing the social vote there. You know, the performances that we've seen so far. I honestly think Furia can feel a little hard done to here. They can feel a little bit unlucky sitting down at the bottom of the table. They've given us some amazing entertainment, as Furia always do. If anybody's settling into this game thinking, I've not really seen too much of Furia, not really seen too much of DWG KIA before, what am I expecting? Tell me all about it, Ace. Well, the reason that I love these two teams are they are, for me, great neutral supporter teams. You know, if your team is maybe one of the other big names, maybe you're a Dark Zero fan joining us, maybe you're a FaZe fan joining us, and you're just looking to have a bit of fun, quality siege, that's exactly what you're going to get from both of these two teams. Fantastic entertainment value. They are going to come in here and throw absolutely everything at this to try and win it, and it is never a dull game when these two play. Flores, Thatcher, Valkyrie, very standard pretty much there. The Flores, a little bit more of an outlier maybe, but we know how valuable he is as an operator. Interestingly, the Kaid left in with the Thatcher ban. That's going to make the Hatchers pretty difficult to be getting through. The Maverick, probably going to be a pretty essential pick.
Yeah, certainly the case here, especially on a map like Clubhouse. The Flores one is probably going to be the one that changes up the gameplay the most here for DWG KIA inside of the first half, just because we've been seeing teams be so heavily reliant upon Flores for that utility clear on very utility-heavy defensive setups, such as what we tend to get over inside of CCTV and Cash and the basement setups as well, where the attacking team may not honestly have another opportunity to clear it out except during their execute, which is obviously going to be a very chaotic scenario. So this will certainly increase the pace with which DWG KIA will need to execute into the site, but they'll already be making up for it in huge dividends here by bringing, of course, the Zofia to bring those lifeline charges into play, and quite an excellent spread of frag grenades as well to also deal with that utility. So they shouldn't have too much of an issue just adjusting the playstyle back to what we would normally do before Flores ended up coming into the meta. Either way, we'll move into the first round now. We're not going to be going to one of those utility-heavy sites, well, not super utility-heavy sites just yet, but we will be going over here into Gym and Bedroom for the first setup for Furia, as they have the defensive start.
An interesting start from Furia, going to take on the west side of the top floor to begin with. Got Mirror available, which may well have played a little bit of a part in this decision as well. Obviously, the standard setup there inside a bathroom, mirror window on, and you can watch over that jacuzzi wall. We may see one played elsewhere. We'll keep an eye on Lenda as the setup continues. Sometimes you'll get it from logistics into construction. It's a little bit easy to deal with from the hatch sometimes. You also have it looking back into sight sometimes. We'll see what they do with it. We're going to have some defenders positioned out on the east side as well. We can see that deployable shield at the top of red stairs. We've got the double reinforcement on the wall, stacked with ADSs in there as well. So I would expect an absolute lockdown of those red stairs. Furia not going to want to be pushed out of there, and the second mirror window does go onto that logistics wall as expected.
So it's for Damwon Kia here. It's the slow build-up as we would normally expect. Nothing crazy coming out inside of these first few moments or so. Going to see a big emphasis on droning out the setup now with the next minute or so here. Now that they've reached the initial entry points, they're going to try to use Rin, for instance, of course, investigating the big window by Billiards to start looking for a clear path into the first floor. And we'll continue to do so with the panels outside of the bedroom too. But Highs wants to challenge that. Even spots one of the members of Damwon Kia outside. I believe that's Rin himself. But Rin will get the large majority of the damage off in that situation. Highs will be very low. Definitely not going to be peeking that again anytime soon.
No, and I think that sends a message to Furia there that, you know, yes, we know that you want to be an aggressive team. Lenda, he's going to bring the aggression to courted there, taking the headshot onto the Hibana, and that could be particularly important. Blue Hibana, one of the options to deal with that mirror window. They're now going to have to brute force their way through Jacuzzi Wall. Whatever's open is likely to be the limit, and I think I did call that one as well. Difficult to play around that mirror window with the logistics hatch open. Yas going to get himself a first kill there for Damwon Kia. Lock things up at 4-4. They take the foot off the gas, back onto the drones, see where they're at now, but that jacuzzi-sided mirror window from bathroom could prove to be a little bit of an issue for them now.
So for the members of Furia here, they're going to be left a little bit weaker now as we drift towards the end of the round here. As Highs also, for those who caught it at the beginning of the round, still going to be very low. You can see he's crouching around the windowsills there to make sure that if anyone from Damwon Kia is in the area, it's a little bit harder to spot him and, of course, finish him off. Big issue here, once again, for Damwon Kia is the fact that the members of Furia know the case is still down at this point, but Rin as well, trying to look for a quick counter to that. Excellently done as he pops out the floorboards from below and ends the threat of the mirror window that Lenda was bringing to the party up until this point.
Great problem solving from Damwon Kia there. As I said, losing the Hibana could have been an issue. They've recognised that Furia don't have anybody underneath, and they've taken full advantage of that, getting in there, using the soft floor, the verticality, and getting that mirror window open. So that allows them now to keep pushing from that west side of the map. Yas manages to find one onto Highs, and Damwon Kia are starting to break down this defence now. You can see the angles are covered. They've got the windows, they've got the kills. Yas with his third in the round. In it comes Rin, able to just walk in, find that final kill out of logistics, and that was a really nice attack from Damwon Kia. They've just problem solved it. Right, we've got a mirror window from logistics, deal with it from hatch. We've lost a Hibana, right, get Rin in underneath. All these things have been answers to problems, and well played from Damwon Kia.
All right, so some excellent stuff coming out there from Damwon Kia, and the issues already starting to show in the first round for Furia's playstyle here. We talked about it in the pregame about how Furia were going to try and take some more aggressive gunfights at the beginning of rounds. Obviously, much less so than they did on Coastline when these two teams played last, but we already saw it right from the beginning there. One of their players getting lit up down to such low HP due to the overwatch from Rin, and that wasn't the only player that had success in doing that. As we saw later in the round, more members of Furia, when forced out of their safe positions, forced into a fight, had to try and take those duels, and Damwon Kia was ready for essentially every single one of them. So Damwon Kia takes a dominant first round here. Furia is going to go for a tectonic shift in their sight, back down to the basement here, as well as a different playstyle in terms of operators. They're bringing lots of trap operators now in play here. Capcan as well as Legion on top of the Malusi that was also present in the first round.
We've got a lot of work going up on the top floor already. We've got the Capcan up there, we've got Miracle opening up the rotates, opening up the hatches. I would expect, therefore, to see at least two of the Furia players up there trying to play this extended roam. They're not going to throw too much utility away up there without doing so. You can see the mute jammers are down there, particularly there to force Damwon Kia to go in here blindfolded. They don't want them to be able to get the drones in. They don't want them to be able to find exact locations of where these roamers are. You want to force them to face check everything, take that risk, make them poke their face into a room to see exactly what is going on. With doubling up on door frames with the Capcan traps as well, because again, if the drones can't get in there, Blue, you can't spot the traps on the door frames, and it could well be a good opportunity for Furia to just get themselves an absolute freebie.
In order to fully utilize these, however, we're going to need to see Furia really drain out the timer down to its minimum, so DWG KIA are forced into a rush and won't be able to check every single window, so a little bit of a dangerous situation there for Highs in the meanwhile, as he's holding an aggressive angle on the blue window, takes a hit or two. Not sure if DWG KIA are going to notice it, but they will now, as Highs throws out a couple bullets through the window, and will now have no choice but to back away into the depths of blue itself, where to be fair, he does have quite a bit of traps set up here, some of the goo mines being placed down there to give him extra advisory, and of course extra gap room between himself and his opponents on DWG KIA that are soon going to be trying to breach in here once the top clear has been complete. That's going to be a big top clear though, as you guys can see, but they're doing good work on it. Coded resuming his sniper role from the rematch as well, taking down Fantasy to start this round off and eliminate the Kapkan.
Great start there for DWG KIA. Lender needs to be careful here, but in fact it's Coulted who does not apply enough caution. Lender just spotting him out there and hitting a wonderful headshot, and boy does that slam the brakes on this top floor clearance from DWG KIA. They were progressing so well, Blue. They'd got in there, they'd got the opener inside the first minute, and they were really pressuring Furia, but something was needed. It was brought by Lender, but ultimately going to be shut down by Katsang. 1 minute 20, not really enough time wasted here from Furia on that top floor roam. Diffuser is down, that'll be retrieved quickly enough by DWG KIA, and they can continue pushing here. The only problem they've got is there isn't a hole in that jacuzzi wall that they can fit through, so it's going to be a bit of a long run for somebody, but they'll get themselves out there and get it back. But it is pre-play C4! No,
Kapkan trap, EDD. So Yas now has to waste time running back up here. This is where the utility comes into play. This is exactly what Furia wanted to get out of these Kapkan traps here. It's working out perfectly for them so far. And the case being down on a jacuzzi balcony without a large enough Habano hole is really just the icing on the cake here right now. DWG KIA's caution is going to cost them easily 30 seconds or more here that they have to run back and get it. Keep in mind, they still have not successfully retrieved the case, and they only have 30 seconds left now to make their transition down into the basement. Maverick is going to torch open this wood hatch here, trying to get the team down below, but they are very quickly running out of time. They'll get the information on the position of Highs, but once again, there's no guarantee that leads to anything. Either Rare can still support from the inside of Church because he has very little pressure coming from main stairs. You can see it building up. Only one player at this point trying to come from that direction, but we've seen DWG KIA work these rounds before into a 4v2, soon to be a 4v1. It all falls to Rare, but he has time on his side now. 5 seconds left, one plant denial, and he might get it. There's the first pickup from him, stuck in the corner. They're going to try to get this down on the ground. They have secured it. He's got the first and the second. And Rare will clutch it out huge for Furia.
Unbelievable play from Rare. 1 versus 4, dropping them one after another. And the diffuser goes down in the midst of it all. He wins on the clock. Oh boy, have we had a big first 2 rounds there, Blue. Absolutely unreal start from both of these teams, and you just feel like it's going to continue tooth and nail throughout this.
Excellent job there by Furia. Not necessarily winning it in the way that they necessarily thought it was going to work out, but they waste an adequate enough time on the 3rd floor roam. Those traps do the work they do, and the missteps from DWG KIA come back to bite them. Despite that fact, DWG KIA still nearly is able to make it work for themselves, but the heads-up move from Rare to go into Moto there and hold the aggressive position, especially opening up the rotate from Blue, gives him every angle he needs to close that down. And as we saw, DWG KIA did not expect him to make that forward move into Moto, so he surprises out in those final seconds and shuts down the 3 players needed to win the round.
I've said it about Furia before, I'm going to say it about them again. Furia just do not know when they are beaten. Whether it's in a round, whether it's in a game, whether it's in a tournament, they will fight until that screen says that it is lost, and Rare has just proven that there. 1-4 locked inside of Moto and just absolutely dominates DWG KIA in round 2. We're going to head up to CCTV and Cash this time around. Going to be pretty standard setup. We've got the mute jammer on the east wall. We've got the reinforcements, deployable shield on Cash Doris. I like that. It's just giving the opportunity to just be a little bit aggressive coming out of there. They need to be careful because it is a Vulcan shield, and to be honest, we do see those flames being more of a problem for the defenders often than the attackers. They can be used for area denial and things like that. We're actually going to see it relocated, so that's an interesting choice there. We'll see how it pans out. The reason that you would play a deployable shield there is to allow one of your Cash players to challenge onto that east breach, but as we can see, Furia just significantly concerned about that west-sided push as well.
We are going to see a quick opening here. That electric claw that you heard clank onto the wall is going to happen far too late. So exothermic breaches very early on here with only about 40 seconds used up in the round. That's checkbox 1 done for DWG KIA. They've got about 2 to 3 more though before they're going to feel the confidence needed to work onto the site. And Furia's got a couple tricks up their sleeve as well, it seems here, as they're going to lurk a few players into the basement for possible wraps around, maybe some play from the oil pit. Obviously blue stairs is going to be an option here as well. A couple things that they could try to play out.
At the minute, it's all shaping up to be an east side and garage push here from DWG KIA. They haven't played anybody over to the west side. Furia need to recognise that, and they need to be making sure that the manpower is rotating back at a suitable time. But it's a bit of a judgment game for Furia here, because they don't want to go too soon and give up that area. Now then, the challenge comes in. That's garage controlled, gained for DWG KIA. Big play from Woogie Man. Yas coming in as well and getting himself one. 5 versus 3, already a difficult round for Furia here, and we're not even at the halfway mark. We've got the East Breach open. We've got garage control. DWG KIA have got everything they need to start thinking about a plan, but they're not rushing it. We can see they're on the drones. They're trying to find out what's going on. Miracle in no man's land there.
Miracle just running out. I'm not sure if he was trying to go for an aggressive pick and just hoped he wouldn't have been expected there, but you have to under these situations. DWG KIA's had their number every single time they try to make an aggressive play, and that extends back to the very first round of this game. Nitro should deny this play, which Highs is going to be able to land that one successfully, but that's the only trade Furia has found so far in this round. They're going to overwhelm the numbers here in Red Hall very soon because they also have the garage control due to the nice drone placement that took out Fantasy earlier. Nades going in. Yas is going to take a little bit of damage as he tries to get this plant down onto the ground, and Katsang will also get dropped, but Boogeyman and Rin will clean it up. And DWG KIA take a very successful counterattack here upstairs as they claim their second point.
Yeah, really nice from DWG KIA there. They just had answers to absolutely everything that Furia were trying to do. A little bit of over-aggression from Furia, particularly there, Miracle stepping out into Cash. He's trying to take the peak, he's trying to take the initiative, there's nothing wrong with that, but he's left his team then in a 2v4 situation. It's always going to be difficult, and I don't think at 3v5 it's maybe the right time to be playing that. But the garage control and the East Breach from DWG KIA there was absolutely clinical. Inside 35 seconds, East Breach is open. Done. We expect it to be done quickly. A lot of teams are now even forgoing the denial on the wall and choosing to bring utility that they can use elsewhere because it is very quickly cleared out. But still, 35 seconds, that's some going. Straight onto garage, no messing about. Catwalk cleared out as well. The Capitao, a really solid pick for doing that. Just forcing the man to move. They pick up the kill. Absolutely fantastic, because from there, they know all they need to do is hold the lines of sight onto Cash, because that's where the rest of Furia are going to have to come from. That is where they come from. DWG KIA just make it look easy.
All right, so let's get into it here now. It's going to go back to the gym and bedroom. The initial defense from Furia that faltered in the final moments for them due to the great push coming out from DWG KIA. And again, good reads on the more aggressive swings that we occasionally saw from Furia on the outset of that round here. Furia is having a rough time so far on these upstairs holds here. Basement obviously going much, much better for them due to the utility spread out and, of course, the missteps made by DWG KIA here. But so far, DWG, when it comes to these upstairs attacks, have been near flawless on both of them, with only very minor missteps happening in the middle of the round there. So let's see if they can pull off just a successful one this time, or Furia have finally learned their lesson, bringing this more direct confrontation to the table, specifically with Clash, as well as a few other changes also.
That's it. It just suggests to me that maybe Furia feel like they're getting bullied a little bit. They need something to get up in the faces of DWG KIA and slow them down, and that's what you're going to hope that Rare will do. But he's already taken a chunk of damage there, Blue, so needs to be careful, because if they throw away that shield too soon, if DWG KIA are able to remove him, that is a big problem for Furia here. Of course, you know, the majority of what Clash is bringing along is that presence, so needs to be there. Not much of a contribution otherwise. So for the time being, just looking to front up to those windows. We saw a couple of kills coming in from that direction. Katsang was able to play on that south side. I think a little bit of a presence inside of Cash, CCTV, would be helpful for Furia, because of course it is that threat that stops players playing on that south side of balcony. For the time being, not got anybody over there, I don't think, or they may be one man just over on that east side. Need to try and keep that lockdown.
Selma's going to activate now that they have dealt with the mute jammer sitting on the wall here. Took about a little over a minute to accomplish that. And you can see there's a big emphasis, almost an entire emphasis from DWG KIA here on pushing in from the jacuzzi balcony. So Furia, once again, has the right defensive setup to counter this one out. How is DWG KIA going to breach past this is the big question here, as Rin takes up position over by the windows and will try to add a second angle to this pressure. But again, still no easy way to work their way in when the Clash will be blocking so far their only breach and their only path forward. It's so good work from Furia here to hide the Clash for so long, is. Now it's a big obstacle for DWG KIA to try and work past it. I don't know if they're going to be able to quickly come up with an alternative plan. We'll see. Obviously, the lifelines are available for Rin, and they're going to immediately use that, but Miracle starts fending off these players. Woogieman is caught trying to play the Logi hatch, and Rare still very much in position now. The lifeline is faded away.
I know the mirror's not the only problem on that side, but last time we saw DWG KIA deal with that mirror really quickly and easily. Rin went in underneath on the Sevilla, popped the floor open, job done. There's nobody from Furia playing on the underneath. Rin could do that for free once again. There's nobody inside a gym, so even if the hatch is open, not too much of a threat, but they've chosen not to. We'll see how much of an impact that has as the round goes on. For the time being, there's been 2 kills. Yas has actually rotated downstairs. There's your answer to that one. So that is good from DWG KIA. They're just looking at that and thinking, right, is there an opportunity to get in there and clear some utility out vertically as well? 4 versus 3 as it stands at the minute. 4 versus 2, the hatch drop comes in, and once again, Blue, they're able to just start surrounding Furia here.
Rare sneaks one away, but remember, Rare has no support anymore. He's off on an island here, and he'll finally go down into the depths. Highs is going to be the only one left standing here for Furia. Still utility pressure being deployed by DWG KIA, and finally, the cutoff from Rin as he picks up all the side kills here, all these flag pickups as he moves into the second player to take out that one hiding over inside of Logi, and then finishes things off against the one trying to hold the rotate with a nice quick rotate himself, moving over to Jim. Excellent work again from DWG KIA, and let's be honest, that was a very tough situation they had to battle out of. Great usage with the frag grenade there to bank that in and take out the player hiding behind the mirror window, and following that through to bleed out the pressure that was being thrown onto them one by one.
I've already picked up on the problem solving from DWG KIA, and it continues there, and I like to see it. It's, you know, we're pushing from here, right, we've got this issue, somebody rotates, deals with that, and they're not scared to move, they're not scared to try and mix things up. We're going to have a tactical pause coming in from Furia here, and not before time, I think. They definitely need to be looking at doing something. They just haven't got themselves started here. We've seen them win one round, but other than that, they've been losing so many of those gunfights, and they're just not really competitive inside of this one at the minute. It's not the Furia that we know we've seen. It's not what they are capable of. They know they can bring more. They're going to have a little chat with the coach Twister now, see if there is something that they can change up going forward.
And to be honest, the Furia here, I think they are making the correct adjustments there. We saw that a much different playstyle being deployed into that second gym defense. They kept it held back. They wanted to play this very turtley defense and did a very good job of doing it, but unfortunately lost the plot. A couple of holes were left open after they took down that first player through the Logi hatch, for example. Didn't really seem to believe there was going to be a secondary threat coming from that area from Rin later on in the round. So that's one example of how DWG were able to quickly adjust things and obviously change their own status quo, opening up more of an advantage for the team to push in. Once that player's down, as well as the frag grenade kill taking out Lenda, hiding on the Mira behind the window there, suddenly all the support for the clash is gone, and that's just a kind of a player standing there in the way and not much else. We obviously did see the Clash able to fall back and actually pick up a kill, which credit that player for doing so, but ultimately, again, not much of a defense left at that point, so didn't really have any other choice, and still ended up faltering because there was not nearly enough support to continue to play out. So DWG KIA successfully take that third round, that second attack upstairs inside of Gym as well. The good news for Fury is it has been 2 rounds since they claimed their initial, so they finally unlock the site they've already claimed for themselves again. We're going to be heading back to it now as they go down into the depths of the basement for another try at it.
Important to remember though, Blue, that whilst it is the site that they won, it was a 1v4 that won it for them. You know, you can't rely on that. You can't think, oh yeah, we'll lock that down, because they really didn't. DWG KIA went in there and picked them apart, but unfortunately the clock got the better of them. They had to rush into what was a difficult situation for them, where they were just trying to throw the diffuser down on the ground with seconds left to go. This time around from Furia, what do they need to do differently to avoid that sort of a situation? Well, the top floor roam, as much as it got a kill, it wasn't really effective enough last time around. It only burnt about 1 minute 20, 1 minute 30. You need to be looking more towards the 2 minute mark, and also you really don't want to lose both of your players up there on the top floor. You want one of them at least returning back to site if at all possible, take a kill or 2 with them, and then you are burning a lot of time on the side of the attackers. So if they are going to commit to the roam game again, we need to see it have a little bit more success. We need to see Fantasy getting himself into this one. I try not to focus on him too much. Furia are not a one-man team as much as it might look that way sometimes. They do a great job of facilitating Fantasy and allowing him to play his game and get those kills, but at the minute that's not the case. If they can activate him, get him into the game, then things might start changing a little bit.
Furia going to bring a very different style to the table this time here, both in terms of operator selections and their overall setup, as they will, for the most part, hold on to Eternal Play downstairs. I say that, but there is going to be a bit of aggression that you're going to see now built up over here towards the blue stairs. It's not just one player doing this either. Usually the Jaeger just plays this position, but it's not only going to be Fantasy, but it'll also be supported by Lenda. Fantasy has not been having the best go of it so far inside of this game. As you can see, at 0-4 at this point, as an extra support coming in from Lenda was going to be appreciated, but now they'll have to pull it all back as Rin gets the first kill of the round yet again, knocking out Rare. They are going to go for this preset Nitro cell here, and Lenda will make the call out for when to implode it. We'll see in a moment here. He tries to go for that, but it won't more than likely be some time, as DWG KIA is still working on clearing out the second floor just to make sure that there isn't any surprises hiding up there.
That's it, they're just looking to make sure that they can be confident they've got the full map control. But look at the time, Blue. It's inside of the first minute, essentially, that they've got that control. Not only have they got the control, they've got a kill as well onto Raya. So right now, Furia are on the back foot because DWG KIA are going to have an awful lot of time. They've got utility, they've got the sledge, they've got the Maverick in order to open the hatches. There goes the pre-place. Not do any work, but I tell you who is working. Courted with a beautiful headshot onto Lenda on main stairs. Furia, their day is going from bad to worse right now.
Much less impact so far in this game than we saw in the first match between these two teams, but Coded, the kills he is getting, once again, I'll emphasize it, the sniper, man. He is just knocking these guys out, not giving them a chance to even spot him, although great opportunity there for Lenda to try and at least fire back. Doesn't lead to too much. Highs will take a little bit of heat here from the frag grenade, but thankfully notices it and backs away to avoid the large majority of said damage. Will take the mantle behind the mirror window now, and of course has the capability to aggressively swing in it, but soon he's going to have pressure building up on him from the possible Moto hatch drop in addition to main stairs, and he will have to be very careful of that. You can see Blue at the same time is also not going to be as actively defended as it has been previously. Fantasy now playing from the outside, so it's very possible for DWG KIA to sweep through that, put the additional pressure onto Highs, and knock him out fairly easily here if the DWG KIA roster is aggressive enough to make it work.
A bit of pressure coming in from everywhere right now on the DWG KIA side, and that's what I love to see. Get in here and force the defenders to move around, force them to take challenges like that. Fantasy having to take the peak, trying to do something to get his team moving, and gets shut down. Highs forced away by utility, but as you can see, they're just twisting and turning, Blue. Everywhere they go, there is another gun pointing at them. Courted's getting the diffuser down. Rin finds a kill. It's all up to Miracle inside of dirt, and that's exactly where he's going to find himself being put, in the dirt, along with Furia. DWG KIA take another round, 4-1 now.
We do see, of course, one more player going down there from DWG KIA, but never fully killed, so it ends up being a flawless round for DWG KIA at the end of the day. They take the full control they need there and continue to excel on this attacking side, and again, in the same exact fashion we've been seeing them use previously, just through perfect reads of the situation. They know exactly where to find these members of Furia, and these executes when they move in are so quick and so clean. Furia has just not had a single chance in the large majority of these fights so far.
No, they really haven't, and like I say, it's not characteristic of them. We know that they're capable of more, but right now, they've just not turned up to the races. They're not involved in this one, and that's something that they need to address quickly, because it's going to be one of them games that just completely gets away from them. We've seen a couple of 7-1s already today, Blue. Wouldn't surprise me to see another one. Earlier, it was one of the LATAM teams, two of the LATAM teams, in fact, that were on the beneficial end of those 7-1s. Team 1 and FaZe, of course. Furia right now, they're looking to take it in the other direction for the region, as it is slowly getting out of hand for them. And the thing is, you worry about them because getting onto the defense here, DWG KIA, if they come in 5-1, is there not one site on here that they can lock down? Because that's all they need to do to get the win. And you look at it and think, you know, absolutely there is.
5 seconds to go.
All right, so Furia going back to the basics once again. This will be their third attempt of trying to hold the gym and bedroom, and they will go for the extended play. It looks like over into cash as well, though still trying to see what the setup looks like. Only one reinforcement remaining, so yeah, they did get the double reinforcement onto the security walls, so it is going to play into that extended setup. The interesting thing with this, though, is DWG KIA has not generally tried to execute from this side as of yet, so I'm a little bit...
nowhere near.
Yeah, I'm a little bit mixed on how effective this is going to be. Obviously, if DWG KIA end up going this direction, then of course it'll work out perfectly, but they've almost always been attacking from the Jacuzzi balcony side, so more than likely this is going to be abandoned around the minute-and-a-half mark and barely used.
This is it. It's a necessary evil. You have to do it. You have to go and have a presence over there. You have to go and put the resources, because as soon as you don't, DWG KIA are going to recognize that, be straight up with the sledge straight in there, and they're going to push you from that side, and it's going to be a problem. So it's sort of like Furia can't get away from that, but they need to not sort of overcommit to it, because as you say, DWG KIA have been much more focused elsewhere. But this time, there we go. Looks like they are going to be playing into it.
The drones will be working their way in this time, so Furia, once again, sticking to the main game plan here is going to work out. Is obviously about to put the extra work in to clear this out. DWG KIA has, of course, realized the issues that have plagued them in trying to clear things out from the other side, both with the direct clash contestant group with Lenda, and in some cases Highs as well from, I believe, inside of Logi. So going to try and, oh, Fantasy nearly getting caught there as Rin takes garage control. But yeah, once again, they'll try to switch this up and still end up catching Fantasy. Fool me once, apparently he lives, fool me twice. He dies as he tries to pass through another open window, leading to his demise.
And it's frustrating, Blue, because I'm asking questions. Why is Fantasy playing on Echo, rotating around, trying to take challenges? He's playing on the east side of the map inside of Cash to begin with, where he's going to be fronted up by DWG KIA more than likely. Unless Furia were just doubling down on that bet that DWG KIA weren't going to push from that side again. So they thought, right, let's play the Echo out there for safety. But Fantasy, he's one that taking your gunfights, and that doesn't line up with taking the Echo. They've lost an essential piece of utility far too soon. They lose another operator now, Rare. He's able to get one back, but it's still advantage DWG KIA. 4 versus 3. They're starting to get some site control, and they are starting to push towards Furia now, who are winning a couple of gunfights, but there is a long way for them to go to win this yet.
This frag grenade could lead to another quick kill, but thankfully the ADS has saved the day here for Lenda as he'll maintain his current position, still sitting behind the mirror window out on the Jacuzzi breach. A little bit of a tense one here for DWG KIA after a few missteps and trying to clear out Logi. Nearly another one there for Rin, but we will see that lifeline allow Coded to get himself in on the attacker side of the mattress defense here. Highs, though, is going to be able to rotate out. We'll see the Nitro going, but an instant exchange, and Highs will nearly lose himself here as well. Stuck in a corner now, but at the same time, DWG KIA running out of time. They need to push in. Woogieman gets the second. Rin is lost, and Rare, once again, with the clutch here, shuts down the final two from DWG KIA to finally put a second round on the board for Furia.
Well, Furia definitely needed that round. They needed somebody to come in and grab it, and once again, it was Rare finishing off the round there. We saw that 1v4 for him earlier on, and he's just had a beautiful finish there as well. I think DWG KIA, there's a timeline where they should be winning that round realistically. 5 versus 3, they were really starting to put the crunch onto Furia. They'd got rid of the Echo, they'd got rid of Fantasy in the same breath, and it was really looking like it was going their way. Furia dug their heels in, showed that mental resolve that we know that they've got. It was that movement from Rare on main stairs, gets that first kill, and then finishes the round as well with a couple of his teammates helping him out on the in-between. So Furia, they're going to switch over onto the attack. They're going to have to show us something different to what we've just seen on the defense.
The main stairs kill was super unfortunate too, because I believe the member of DWG KIA that was trying to clear that out actually looked at that player, but the model on his scope like blocked that little corner there, so he wasn't able to fully see him. So we saw Rare get away with one right at the beginning, and then obviously able to work himself up and pick up the next two. Just a little slip up there from DWG KIA. Once again, cost them big. We saw similar things happen back in the second round as well, when Coded died outside without a full breach on the Jacuzzi balcony, causing a massive slowdown for the members of DWG KIA.
It happens. You know, we're talking about fine margins here, and like you say, getting somebody lost in your scope whilst you're in the ADS can literally be the difference sometimes between a round won and a round loss, and DWG KIA coming off on the wrong side of that one this time. But they're going to be heading into round 7. They're defending down in the basement. They've got a couple of players out on the roam here. DWG KIA obviously feeling confident, going to try and find themselves some kills in this early round. Katsang just dropping back to main stairs now on the Kaid, but Rin and I imagine Yas are likely out in the map looking to get aggressive.
See here, DWG KIA, as you said, looking for those early kill opportunities. Already a contestation made against Fantasy, so Fantasy will be proceeding quite slowly here. He'll have the chances. Oh, the timing. He looks right away from our member on the defense here. It's going to be Rin making that aggressive push, and he's not the only one. Katsang with the TCSG as well, but it's quick revenge from Highs as he pops open the rotate from above with the skeleton key and a quick switch to take out Katsang. Fast exchanges from Furia, and they'll still be in this now at a 4v4.
Of course, we've got a big game on the other stream going on. I can hear Parker in the background, so it sounds like an exciting one for NA. Space Station Gaming versus Empire at the minute. I don't know in which direction it's going to be exciting, but of course, both of these teams are going to be looking at this result and thinking, ooh, DWG KIA, if they get the win, it means they're scrapping over that remaining spot in Group D almost certainly. So a lot riding on both of these games. Now then, Furia making good progress. 4 versus 4, they've got themselves in. 1 minute 15, they're starting to open hatches up. So time, they are absolutely fine for. They need to be careful about any potential rotations coming out from DWG KIA, but I don't think we're going to see that. Here, there's one in garage. There's one in garage.
What?
Yes! Yes! How do you do it? Finding the kill onto Rare, dropping oil, and getting himself back into sight. Rin onto highs. Honestly, DWG KIA right now, if they're going to start winning fights like that, Blue, they just look unbeatable.
Rare's upset after that one, I think, to say the least.
I'd be very upset.
I would be upset for sure. He had that kill dead to rights, and we see Yas just spin around, basically a 180 against him there. Beautiful work from Yas, to be fair, of course, but very unfortunate, as now it's caused the loss of the Capitao as well. They need that in this final minute for the Execute utility, whether it's to use the incendiary bolts to burn players out of blue, the micro smokes to block off the POVs going into church on the blue push. It's all gone now. They don't, unfortunately, have anything else to easily make up for it here between Miracle and Lenda. Yeah, they've got a frag grenade, which could burn someone out, flashes, which could cause a momentary delay, but you still have a 4-player setup from DWG KIA. These guys could be behind anything. It could be anywhere in that site, and Furia as well only have 4 drones left to investigate this. Thankfully, 3 of those are sitting on the players that are alive right now, so still quite a bit of capability that could come from that, but the time is getting too low. The player count is getting too low as well, as DWG KIA wrestle control over the opening round here of the second half.
What I like there, Blue, there was a little thing that happened towards the end of the round. I think it was about 45 seconds left to go, and we spoke about DWG KIA on the attack and their ability to rotate, to change, to flex and move position to solve problems. And what I like is they're bringing that to the defense as well. We had Katsang relocating a deployable shield after over 2 minutes there because they'd got a couple of kills. And this is the thing, within a round of siege, the landscape changes. If you're then finding yourself in a 4 versus 2 and you know they're both pushing from towards blue, you can start thinking, right, actually, we just need to focus our utility there. So relocate if possible, absolutely. And I love to see that from DWG KIA. Very well played, very flexible, even on the defense. Good round from them. There was no chances for Furia there, realistically. They just absolutely shut them down. A lot of it did come on the back of that Yas kill, that much is fair to say, but it's just showing the ability to turn on his heel, get that flick headshot. You've got to argue the kill should have gone the other way, but ultimately, if you're not going to land your shots, it's a split-second battle in Siege sometimes. There was the opportunity there, didn't hit the head of Yas, who managed certainly
to hit his opponent's head.
Yeah, and that's it, it's over.
And that pretty much was the beginning of the end, as we said. The massive loss of Execute utility there without the Capitao didn't really leave a whole lot left over from the other teammates as well. And unfortunately, barely had even touched or even investigated with drones what the internal setup of the site had looked like. So DWG KIA had nearly every advantage they could ask for in the final seconds of the round. They're not going to go for the expected second site that we usually go to on this map, which of course is on the other side by CCTV and Cash. They are instead going to feel themselves at the moment here, feel confident about their current position in this game, which why shouldn't they have a 5-2 lead, and go over towards the gym and bedroom defense instead. A couple aggressive operators also coming into play. Yas specifically here, going on to the alibi now. Going to see if they can get some positional info, placing those clones in front of the windows here, and obviously capitalize on Furia without shooting those out in the opening moments. Woogieman as well will have his own setup inside of Logi there, and as usual, we'll have to be slightly cautious of the hatch play.
I think it's a good choice on the site, because at this point, you know, if it is your third choice site, it's not too much pressure on it. Yep. You know, if you get the win, you get the win, but then look at what happens in that final round. If they get the win here, they get to go to their second choice, CCTV and Cash, on the match point. You know, that's a big confidence boost for them. So I think good idea. DWG KIA, they are going to be holding down this top floor as much as possible. You can see they've got a presence inside of Cash. Blender taking a lot of damage there from that exact location. Ring going to take a little bit of chip damage as well, relocate himself up to the top of Red Stairs. They will have the Montagna of Rare to deal with here. He's getting quite aggressive and going in, but I tell you what, the aggression is matched by Rin, who just steps out on them, Blue, takes the peak swing or B swung. He gets out there, gets the opener onto Lender, and that leaves the Montagna of Rare absolutely floundering with nothing that he can do to support his teammate. Rin runs away back to site, job done.
Fantasy! Fantasy!
The backpack!
Fantasy so close to picking one up right there, but is not going to be able to connect the kill here, as unfortunately it doesn't work out. Thankfully, he corrects it, though, with a good frag grenade going in to take down Katsang here and knock him out. Rin as well, saying goodbye to Rare as he fell back, as you were mentioning there. Just leaves the Montaigne with nothing to do but kind of wave at that Jaeger as he runs away. Another nice frag grenade coming in, this time from Miracle as well. So Furia getting the job done after all, as they try to push themselves forward. Rare also putting the additional pressure pressure onto Rin. Now will force him to rotate. Rin, of course, has noticed that there's... Oh no, the timing for Woogieman here, as he also had an angle. This is such an unfortunate round for both teams so far, as they're missing so many close opportunities. Highs is now going to start to push into Logi. Like I said, Rin caught onto that. He's backed up, but he may not be ready when the push actually comes his way here. There's another pickup from Fantasy. Fury are crunching down on the remaining members of Damwon, and here we go. Coded the only one left. Highs finishes it off, and Furia get a very successful attack going for themselves here on the gym defense.
Really important win for Furia there, getting themselves the round in there aggressively, especially after losing that opening battle that we see on your screen there. It was an aggressive play from Rin, but then they were able to shut them down, especially with the grenades. If you're not winning your gunfights, let's try and use your utility. Let's get that energy in the team up with a couple of kills, and they managed to find themselves 2 inside of that round. Fantasy also getting a couple of kills to his name, which is going to help things. If he can get himself rolling here, then maybe they can start this fight back. Damwon KIA, they're going to head over to CCTV and Cash. As we suggested, maybe a third choice site there on Gym Bedroom, but give it a whirl whilst you've got a good advantage. Now, straight over to CCTV Cash. We need an opportunity to close this out. If they can get that defensively, they can also go back to Church and Arsenal, because the rotation away is finished, and they're going to feel a lot more confident in locking this one out at that point.
Furia's going to give us a fun operator here as well to try and give them the execute capability they need to get into the site. It's going to be a Ying brought to the table once again by Rare. This has been one of the more prominent players on Furia. Currently top fragging for the squad at 7 and 5 as well. So certainly going to add quite a bit of aggressive play to this execute. That's assuming, of course, Furia is able to once again get the appropriate amount of angles open. They need to access the site. You can't just open up balcony and hope to rush everyone in from there. Damwon KIA will have a 2-way split to shut them down from that point. They need to clear out garage, maybe construction as well, if they want to barrel down onto the site and overwhelm Damwon KIA the way that they'll need to try and pick up their 4th round here.
By contrast, when we saw Damwon KIA attacking this site, they were able to deal with that garage catwalk position very, very efficiently. So if Furia are going to push the east side, that's something that they need to consider. We've seen the power of it. Even if you're going for that construction into cash push, you need to be very aware of that catwalk, because with the holes that have been opened up, you can see them on your screen there, it's possible to challenge onto a construction plant. So either way, garage really needs dealing with. For the time being, it's all about opening this east balcony up. Now then, interestingly, it took 25 seconds for Damwon KIA to achieve that. It's taken about an extra 15 seconds here for Furia to burn it off, and they'll open that up in a moment with the Sophia. I would imagine you'll hear the pop of that explosive. Highs is on the book over on the other side. Sorry, there is no Sophia. I was assuming that Fantasy had brought the Sophia along, but no, they're going to need somebody to come and open that soft wall. Book is on the other side of the map. Furia burning time here. It's sort of there, it's ready, it's waiting, but for every second that ticks by, Damwon KIA are able to move around inside.
You can see Fantasy as well here, still keeping Overwatch on that area just to make sure that Damwon KIA aren't going to abuse the fact the soft wall is still there. And again, keep in mind, Furia still need to try and clear out this garage position or push in from construction. Does seem like they're leaning towards the clear over towards the gym side of things, but High's actually having to shift away from this and finally moves in there to take care of the balcony panels. So that will open things up, open up the execute options here for Furia, and of course limit the rotation capability for the members of Damwon KIA here as Furia tries to work their way in, and we get closer towards the end of the round here. Rare will be inserting himself over the construction side. Indeed, we've got a few other members of Furia pushing to that way as well, while the other two keep Overwatch on the breach that's already been made from the balcony. Fantasy actually going for a very, very long-range hold here. This will probably be a good thing too, because we can see the aggressive swing coming out from Rin here in just a few seconds probably.
It's all building towards that construction-sided push at the minute, and interestingly, Damwon KIA have actually left the wall soft, which is always a fascinating one for me, because Yas is now in a killer position. It was something that I saw first of all in LATAM. NIP particularly used to use it. Julio would play that position, and it gives you the opportunity to peek onto bedroom door, but you've got to win those fights, and Yas is not going to. Miracle able to take him down from the window. They've managed to outplay them there. They've shut down a lot of the resistance that would have come onto that construction push. So now there's an opportunity to Furia to get in there, get established, and think about getting that diffuser down. The next job for them is to try and get that wall open. It is soft, so the Buck can do it. Out comes the Nitro, but Corted's going to find the kill first onto Miracle. 25 seconds left to go, and here come Furia.
Furia working their way in here now, trying to execute, and once again doing great work with their utility to overwhelm the DWG KIA setup. Rin finds a first response to make the numbers a bit easier here in a 2v3. Rin has to fall away though from this fight, and Katsang with the TCSG. It's hard for him to fight this. Oh, a rebase shot from him to shut down one, but it's not going to be enough as Fantasy immediately exchanges it and shuts down the round on another successful execute here from Furia. They're holding on in their attacks as well, which has made this game suddenly a lot more interesting.
Hasn't it just? We feel like now what started out as a little bit of a one-sided affair with Furia not really contesting on the defense is becoming a little bit of a thriller here, and I can just hear all those Space Station Gaming and Empire fans just breathing a collective sigh of relief. The breath is held at the minute, and they are just hoping that Furia can bring this back and get the win, because it really does just keep this group alive. Both positions still up for grabs then. Obviously, there's a game going on the other stream as well that is all going to play into that as the points shake down, but boy oh boy, could this make it interesting. Furia have now got 2 in a row, little bit of momentum. They've won Gym, they've won CCTV, likely to go back down to Church and Arsenal for DWG KIA after this tactical pause. There's going to have to be something changing for DWG KIA here. They got the win on Church and Arsenal last time around. They've decided that they need to slow the pace down a little bit, but Furia are looking like a little bit of a different side right now.
You know what's really interesting about that other game that's going on the other stream right now? Spoiler alert. It's got the same exact score as this game does.
Oh!
It's actually probably a little bit further along than that now, because obviously I just checked it out on the Twitch stream with a little bit of delay. But yeah, same exact scoreline as this game at the moment at 4-5. So
yikes, in favor of...
Oh, I didn't actually check that. Hold on.
Gotta see who's coming out on top of that one. But either way, it is very, very close.
SSG.
SSG leading then against Empire at the minute. Empire for me have been a little bit up and down at this major so far. They've either come through and absolutely blitzed a series of play like we saw against Furia, where they just had that massive comeback, or they've just not really shown up. So SSG for the time being need to maybe take advantage of that round lead and just get it finished off before Empire really wakes up.
All right, so here we go into our 10th round in the meanwhile. That one of the other stream well past, I think, at this point by the time that you're hearing it from our mouths. But either way, we get into the action once again. Another basement hold for DWG KIA. And they'll be breathing a sigh of relief that they get to go back here, because so far, this is the only site they've been able to control for themselves inside of this half. Furia having the same exact statistics, I believe, on their own defensive half as well. So these two teams, so far, neck and neck in terms of their contributions to wins on the defensive side. Definitely going to be favoring a turtle setup here for DWG KIA. We can see the play going into blue right now there, with most, if not all, of the ADSs supporting that. Obviously, Rin will be playing from that position with a little bit of extension out from the stairs to try and see if we can get lucky with an opening pick. But away from that, it is all delay here. We've got the smokes, we've got the Malusi Banshees, we've got the Evil Eyes as well to provide intel when they start working their way downstairs. And of course, the Electric Claws to reinforce the hatches as well. DWG KIA want to play this as slow as possible here.
DWG KIA want to play it slow. Furia are having absolutely none of that. Highs is already inside the building pushing forward, but he might just come face to face with Yas here. A drone forces him back, so that is well played from Furia, using that intel, using that information to their advantage. But Katsang has just snuck his way back up here, Blue. It could be a cheap one for him, but no. Highs, we might not know just how lucky he is as he just skips away towards pool table, but he's very, very conscientious, watching those main stairs, knowing there's a challenge likely to come in. I think Furia are pretty happy at this point that they've got the control they need. They've a man inside a garage, man inside a bar. That is actually very, very quick progress from Furia to be confident enough to be established inside of the first minute. They've got Rare on the Montagna as well, just pushing in there as that bully, as that intel, trying to move any defenders that are currently in position. And here we go with the vertical renovations. Buck's going to start opening things up. This is going to be a long 1 minute 45 for DWG KIA.
Certainly will here, and unfortunately, because the Maverick is left in play and not banned out, there's not really anything they can do to prevent the hatches from being open, even with the Electric Claws in play. The kitchen hatch, a little bit different, of course, because of the top-down angles being open and the potential impact tricking, as well as just killing the Maverick that could occur if he tries to attempt it there. But either way, they have the Hibana to help them out in that department, so we'll see that used a little bit more accurately later on. That Electric Claw also potentially being pulled back from Moto if the need should arise, and they can more than likely put that down on the Triple Church wall if, once again, the Maverick is going to quickly open open things up there. And he should be able to open too. Rare in the meanwhile, okay, does have a way through. I thought for some reason that breach wasn't going to be enough, but yeah, he is able to make it through on himself. And now Coded will have to fend off the pressure coming from that direction here. Thankfully, he's on smoke here, and he has the Toxic Babes, which should make very quick work of pushing back this Montaigne. I think he just wants to make sure that there's not any support before he starts wasting away any of those gas grenades.
Yeah, it's a perfect setup from DWG KIA. They've almost predicted this push down dirt. They've got the deployable shield, they've got the Toxic Babe, they've got everything they need to be able to deal with that Montaigne pushing down there. Rare is going to need some support, and it's here in the shape of Miracle. Out goes the nade. There was an ADS to be burnt, which I believe has been done. The deployable shield, however, still stays in position. I think Miracle maybe going to have to focus more on clearing that utility to allow his big shield to keep pushing down in front of him. But no, here comes the aggression. Look at that blue. He's just hurdled over that deployable shield, gets the kill onto Coated, and with 15 seconds left, he's inside.
They're going to push for this now here. They've got the access point they need as well as their push to the inside, but Miracle's going to be lost here. Rare, however, not being stopped on the plant so far here. Fantasy and Highs are holding on, and the plant goes down inside of Church as they're able to successfully secure it for themselves. Excuse me, Arsenal. But the Pokeball takes down Rare and evens out the numbers. The problem now here for DWG KIA, these post plants are going to be so strong for the members of Furia. They've secured it, but no, Fantasy can't get a grasp on the scenario here. It's all going to fall to Highs with the top-down angle, however. This will be tough to breach, but they'll open it up, do some great damage to Highs. They're going to go full aggro on this one as well, running straight up the stairs to contest him, but Highs is smart. Highs has the read on this, but so is DWG KIA. They're not going to immediately contest. Yas is going to try to draw the attention away. Highs still ready for the fight, but he's going to interrupt it, but no, Yas gets the cutoff, shuts him down instead, and the round will go to DWG KIA as they push on map point.
What a retake from DWG KIA in that 2v1. You called it perfectly, Blue. The fact that the teamwork was there to say, wait for the challenge, wait for the challenge, I'm hitting the diffuser, go. And it was just so perfectly timed. You saw how helpless Highs' situation was. I like his line of thought. That was quick thinking to think, I need to drop this hatch, because he knows that the man can't come off the diffuser or it's going to be a big risk for him to. If he survives that hatch drop, he probably wins the round. But Yas hits his shots as Yas always does. DWG KIA take a bow, because that was a beautiful round of Siege. I like what Furia did, the aggression from the Monty straight over the deployable shield and gets the kill. He shouldn't be able to do that. But DWG KIA, they certainly weren't rocked by it, and they were fully ready for that post-plant retake.
In all honesty, an amazing round for both teams there. Both teams really playing it to the fullest extent. Came down to just raw individual player skill, as well as teamwork, of course, on the two players still alive from DWG KIA to be able to clutch that one out. Beautiful stuff from Yas. Another player been performing quite well here. It's been a little hit or miss so far this tournament. Rin has found fantastic impact inside of this game, leading the charge for the squad at this point at 14-4 with a plus 10 KD on this matchup. Now, I'm sure you guys have already noticed it by this point, but we're finally going to mention it. DWG KIA are not feeling those upstairs defenses anymore, so they're going to throw us a curveball for what very well could be the final round of this map. It is going to be the bar defense to see if this will finally push them over the edge onto their 7th round.
This bar, and interestingly, they're going to have us scrambling a little bit, or they're going to have me scrambling a little bit here, because things are a little bit different, Blue, than we might normally see. They've got the castle brought along, they've got reinforcements out on the strip side, so they're obviously very conscious of a push coming in from there. They're actually going to play men out there. There's not as strong a top floor hold as we might expect on a bar and stage from previous. There is utility, there are players up there, but it seems like a little bit more of a token force than we might normally see. You know, quite often we'll see 4 players up there trying to hold it down with vertical angles, but no, just a little bit more spread out here, and sort of liking what I'm seeing, but so is Fantasy as he comes in with a big opener onto Rin. Rin was one of the players playing up above, so that leaves Yas alone now. So this is an opportunity for Furia to move in and get vertical control, which may well support them in getting that diffuser down.
Once again, this Montaigne is going to be a big key piece of that as Rare takes on this role. Once again, it's interesting that Rare's going for the Montaigne considering his prominence so far for the team inside of this matchup, specifically in clutch scenarios. Thought they would have wanted to maybe place him on something a bit more aggressive, but obviously, again, Furia has this all worked out, so they can't really change things things up on a whim in game just off of individual player performances. Either way, though, Woogieman potentially ready for the challenge inside of Lodge. He's going to have a lot coming his way as well, and it's not even going to be coming just from Logi. Also, Lenda tears apart both the players. Woogieman and Yas both end up going down in this upstairs hold, and suddenly the site defense is going to be incredibly weak if there's really anything left of it at all here. Coded as well, immediately contested against Fantasy. Fantasy not ready for the fight, but still able to reverse the odds and take him down. And yeah, Rare will just come in there and quickly one-tap him to finish that off. Katsang, not any chance at all of fighting shape for the rest of this round, so he will get knocked out very quickly with those shots through the main door. And the rounds are going to bounce back once again here. We see our defensive-sided team only able to close things down on those basement holds.
DWG KIA trying something a little bit different there, getting themselves set up. They used utility out in strip. It was wasted, is the top and bottom of it, because Furia just didn't push into that direction at all. There was just no attempt to move through. And it's not unusual for attacking teams to come in and try and open that wall into billiards and to push through and apply pressure in that direction. But Furia just didn't have any of it. I like what Furia did. They recognized, hang on a minute, there's only a couple of them upstairs. Let's just flood upstairs and find those kills. That's what they did. They got it locked down, and as soon as they had that control, it just fell apart piece by piece for DWG KIA. So Furia fighting back, taking us all the way to 12. At the halfway mark, didn't look like this would be possible. It wasn't just about the score. You know, yeah, quite often if we see a 4-2 or a 5-1, we might see the team flip it back and just do the same thing in reverse. But for me, Furia weren't playing well in that first half. They weren't really contending a lot of the angles they should have been, the gunfights that they should have been. They were finding it difficult, but they've woken up, they've got themselves back into it, and we are in round number 12.
If you guys don't like spoilers, go ahead and grab your remote or grab your mouse for a second and get ready to mute for the next 30 seconds or so, because we got an update on what happened over on the
you've said happened, Blue, and it was 5-4 to Space Station.
It's been updated again. Space Station.
They must have got the win.
Have won the map.
They've got the win.
Have taken the map, meaning they are still in contention for the playoffs. They're maintaining, I believe, a second place spot as of this point in the tournament here. So, DWG KIA also trying to fight here to maintain their first place. But again, they need to close out on something else besides a basement hold. And very, very well, we could end up in overtime here. Fury is able to carve their way through another upstairs exercise that DWG have gone for themselves. Miracle as well, just doing a little bit of aim training here as he gets himself up on the roof. And the team starts to get ready to clear out the first balcony, the first point, which they'll push into this site with when we get down to the last minute.
As you say, CCTV going to be the final opportunity for DWG KIA to close this out in regulation time and secure those oh so important 3 points that they need to try and get themselves through to the playoffs. Lenda's just going to hold a real long angle there through the CCTV window, see if he can catch anybody on the rotate, on the movement. Miracle going to take some damage on the Maverick as he tries to get that wall opened up. Will be successful this time around, so that will now allow the soft wall to be peeled off. It was something that Furia left until quite late in the round last time. They decided to do other jobs instead, get themselves into construction, try to contest elsewhere. They did a good job of it.
Stock continues to tick down here. Furia limiting the options for the defense one by one, as you said, already taking out the balcony hold, and now needing to figure out whether either the garage or the construction setup to properly have enough leverage over the site to be able to push in. Use the construction push on the previous attempt, but this time it's looking like garage presence is going to be the way to go here for Furia as they carve open one of the bottom corners to sneak in and begin putting that extra pressure onto Katsang. Katsang not playing from the usual position we see players go for, however, as instead he's going to be positioned a little bit closer to the actual rotate into the site. Nades will go in, dealing with any utility or hopefully players that would have been positioned closer to the red stairs hallway, and Rare as well. Going to be forced back after he makes the crawl upstairs. Players will exchange blows though, including Katsang getting leaped off the balconies. You saw his corpse go flying there. That's the garage presence now gone, and there should be no issues preventing the Montaigne from moving up any further unless there's going to be another Gumai. Lenda as well walking right in. Rin fully in the open for the hold on the front door there. Furia executing with pride once again here as Yas steals away a trade against Lenda to at least even things out, but it's not going to stay that way. Fantasy is hot on his tail and has downed Yas as he falls through the hatch.
Going to be nobody to collect him. Yas will just bleed out in the depths of the map there, can offer nothing more to his team, so effectively now 3 versus 2. Woogieman's being bullied here, but he starts to fight back. He manages to land the melee hit, do the shield break and get the kill, but Fantasy once again rescuing Furia, comes in with a double kill. One of them would have been the downed Yas at the end of the round as he found the final one in sight. And that is Furia taking us to overtime. Empire fans, Empire players breathing a sigh of relief. Done some quick maths. The way it stands at the minute, SSG will have moved on to 11 points. Damwon on 8, Empire on 6 with only 1 game left to play. So if Damwon take a win here, they will go, even in overtime, on to 10 points. 4 points clear of Empire with only 1 game left to play. So they will be qualified, as will Space Station Gaming. So Empire, it's essential here for them that Furia get this win and limit Damwon to 1 point.
Let's see if they can do it. The good news for Damwon fans at home is, okay, they can head back to the basement. Now that we're in overtime, sites have been unlocked, and they can again fall back on this site that they have claimed every single time they've played it. But so has Furia, meaning we're more than likely in for an immediate repeat as we go into the second round of OT, as we'll expect a lot of basement to be seen here over the next 5 minutes or so as these teams duke it out. More than likely, the third round will be what decides this overtime between these two teams, unless one of them has found the winning formula to finally breach past this hole downstairs.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. What a 3 rounds we have in front of us. If Furia get the win here, as I said, it should keep Empire in the mix. Damwon Kia will have to get a result in that final matchup because, of course, Empire have already won a game against Damwon Kia. So it is going to be a close finish. For the time being, let's not worry about all of that. We'll get you the absolute breakdown of it later on, but right now we just need to focus on these 3 rounds that are ahead of us. We've got Damwon Kia out on the roam. At least on the clear now then. Fantasy's going to get Katsan. Can he get himself a second blue? Yes, he can. Going to get the headshot onto Woogieman as well. And this is Fantasy stepping up exactly when Furia needed him most.
Even the drop down from the upstairs roam here, but no, look at this. No! Lenda holding on. He's not able to save his teammate, but he's able to save the round share here as he knocks out Yas. The last bit of resistance coming from the upstairs hold has been dealt with, and only Conan's left alive. But we've got the sniper in play, and he's got the quickest gun kill in the game here to try to make this clutch happen. A 1v3 set before him. He has so far denied complete presence inside of the basement, but it's going to be very, very tough to continue to play things that way for another 2 minutes, especially because, again, only the 2 toxic babes remaining. If he continues to spam them over on the main stairs, he's got at most another 30 seconds or so before Furia come barreling down against him. That's not even considering the drone presence, which is going to come out here from Furia to figure out his exact location. And then again, these remaining 3 players should not have much of an issue locking him down. There's the spot. They'll catch out his position. They'll know he is rotated into church now, but once again, Conan's been smart about this so far. Good deployment. Conan rushes out, kills the main stairs player. What a play so far from this one. Now he's got to isolate the final 2, and he has a chance right here. That's the case going down. Conan only needs 1 more, and he's clutched this out in a 1v4. Hot Ping's coming into his system as well. Miracle has the same from the drones at the same time. A frag grenade ready, but he wants the duel out right, and Conan fails on the final player. So the round instead goes over to Furia.
You've got to feel for Quartered there. What an effort from the Damwon Kia player, but Miracle able to step up and lock it down for Furia. The most important kill of the round there, just coming in those final seconds. Yes! It could have been so different from that main stairs flank. This is just unbelievable siege that we are witnessing right now. And Furia, qualified or not, are a team that have delivered that time after time after time. I said it at the beginning of this game. One way or another, win or lose, it is always entertaining to watch. And boy, are they delivering. 7-6 now. They move on to the defense. Damwon Kia, they feel like they're falling apart a little bit here, Blue. It's there. It's in their grasp. It's going to come down to a lot of maths at the end of things. They have a win against Empire. Empire have a win against them. So it's going to no doubt come down to things like round differences, win percentages. It's not going to be a straightforward situation if Empire win that final game and Damwon lose here. But for the time being, they need to get the win. It's as simple as that.
Furia really breaking the mold with how to approach that previous round as well, completely ignoring the extended play upstairs on the second floor, and instead directly contesting the first floor retreat, which had happened after they, once again, just pop open a few of the walls upstairs there. Beautifully done by Furia, and great coverage as well, because they knew those top-down players were going to immediately throw pressure onto them. A series of exchanges, yes, but they immediately caught the more aggressive ones from Damwon, trying to catch that aggressive play. So excellent work from Furia in that previous round, finally breaking through the setup. And a surprise for Furia here is they'll work themselves onto a second floor hold for what could be the final round here. It's going to go over to Cash and CCTV one more time as they feel they've got what's needed to shut this one down.
So we see immediate presence over on that east side. Last time around, Damwon KIA attacked onto this site and got that east breach, got that garage control very quickly. This time, looking at things a little bit differently. There's some pressure going out towards construction side of things. We can see the exothermic there, the thermite just taking advantage of that mute change to be able to get it up towards the top of the reinforcement, get the wall opened up. There are still laser gates in place to prevent any sort of quick movement through there, also to burn some utility as well. Woogieman starting things off exactly as Damwon KIA need, with an opener onto Lender. That is the Roma cleared out from the bedroom side, so Damwon KIA now have an opportunity to pinch this site if they want to.
Another one found as well as Fantasy will be caught in movement. That's the Jaeger eliminated from play by Furia. The good news is all the mission critical utility ops, there's really only one of them unfortunately for Furia here, are still going to stay alive, as the smoke most importantly will be available to cause delay, but this is a lot of kills only inside of the first minute and 20 seconds of the round. Furia just barely missing an opportunity to catch one of the members of Damwon KIA. Oh, it is going to be the Gemini, so not too big of a deal there. Yas once again just investigating about what specifically is sitting up on top of that catwalk. You won't find a whole lot under these circumstances here, as Furia has to go very passive here for the remaining few moments. With that said, still holding presence downstairs in areas as we see there, like the front lobby, and of course, storage, but need to possibly pull that back relatively soon here, as members of Damwon KIA are coming very close to their own execute. Maybe not though. Rare moves out, gets 1 and 2 as he takes down Cat Sang and Woogieman. Suddenly the numbers are even yet again, but we've got DK pushing into the site at the same time. Coded nearly losing his life due to a toxic gas grenade, but he finds the hole needed to start his plan. However, Nitro out, it's way too far though. They're not expecting a close plant here, so he sneaks it in, gets it down, and even escapes back outside into a post-plant position. Rare snipes out Yas though, and takes away the garage control for Furia, here, or rather Damwon, as they're going to start the counter defuse.
Doing it, Blue.
Where's the presence from the breach? They don't have it because they went for this close plant. The members of DK have no idea, so Furia just steal the counter defuse, and they steal this map out of Damwon KIA's hands.
Another huge round from Raya. Furia really do all the win to that man. The 2K with the SMG, Blue. The shots were just off the charts. Damwon KIA, unfortunate. A good decision from Courted. Moved quickly, took a lungful of that gas, but got the diffuser down anyway. But then the smart heads-up play from Furia. Blast the hole in the wall. Get that disabled done at a distance, safely, and what a game we have just witnessed. And Group D, Blue, it rumbles on until the final game tonight.
Giving me memories of that Empire game on Cafe. It was either at Raleigh 2019 or SI 2020, where they were able to close out a very important round themselves through similar methods there, opening that up. That's going to do it for the two of us for right now. We're going to throw to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have your analysts ready to break this absolutely amazing match down.
What does it take to create the future of a gaming community? Join us on this 4th episode of I Call Next as we discover how to level up gameplay and reset the expectations of an entire league. PayPal, press play.
Easy going right there. One more to go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible game we just had, and actually a set of matches in our group of death. I'm Most Domestic. With me is Jess Goat, and my God, just put the replays through as we talk over the action that happened, because Jess, I think you needed a minute to just take a breath.
Yeah.
After watching that final round.
Yeah, I don't know if through the microphones of the casters you could hear me just outside the door, but I was screaming my heart out through that overtime, especially. Yep. The fact that, one, Furia had the wherewithal to bring it all the way back and into overtime. Shout out to Furia. But for me, being a DWG KIA fan, I'm sitting there absolutely gut-wrenched that they weren't able to pull out those 2 points, because obviously we'll go into more detail in a second, but the group standings are not favoring almost any team in that top 3 right now. There is too much to play for.
No, and we're actually going to spend more time talking about the standings at the end, because we've done the math and it is not as convoluted as you think it is, actually, but there's still hope for teams in the group. But I gotta say, one thing that was very impressive from Damwon is how they're getting openers very consistently.
Yes, good opening frags.
But then that late round situation just...
I will say, in regards to that, there was a lot of intel game being used by Furia. Probably one of the major strengths that Furia had both on their attack and their defense was I saw more yellow pings from the team of Furia than I've seen in this entire group combined. And that is how important their intel game has been. They had drones everywhere. That round that Coded almost clutched in OT 1v3, he only lost that, in my opinion, because he was being yellow pinged the entire time. Furia's intel game is something, it's just a force to be reckoned with. So if you want to know where the strengths lie with Furia, it's that drone game, it's that intel game, and unfortunately that is where DWG KIA really couldn't come to ropes with it.
Yep, and droning is such a huge part of Siege, but also you can have a lot of information, but this is something that casters will know very well. I know there's quite a few aspiring casters out there that are listening. You can know a lot of things, but if you don't know how to communicate them correctly, it might as well not exist. And this is a double whammy for Furia, because not only are they good at gathering the info, but also to communicate it between them. You see Rare topping the group here, 12-10, 14-10 for Fantasy. Really the team putting their all in this. And Yas and Rin going ham for this at DWG KIA. Unfortunately, that comeback from Furia that got them to overtime, the moment we saw the Monty, Hap just turns to us and he's like, they look really desperate picking up the Monty. Like, what else can you do?
I absolutely agree, because even when Ring got that opening pick against the Monty with the player coming in from Platform Breach, and I thought to myself, the Monty did nothing. Unless those yellow pings are able to, you know, stab through your opponent, really you're not doing anything because you're too far away to communicate that to your team. Rin has the sharp shots, and that's just what it is. But I do think that we're bringing the standings up on our screen, that this is the storyline that everyone needs to focus on right now.
So let me lay it down for you, everybody.
Yeah, lay down the law.
First up, Space Station Gaming. They're good. Nobody can take them off of their qualification into the playoffs.
Solidified.
Yes, it's solidified. Top 2, good, right? But Space Station can play gatekeeper. Very important. Team Empire are playing later on to see how deep they can go.
Last game of the B stream will be that game.
So there is a lot to play for in this. And why do I say that? DWG KIA have 9 points, 6 for Empire, 4 for Furia. Furia, no way to get out of this. It's done. Furia get to go home tomorrow. Okay, 3 more points you can collect. DWG KIA, should they win, they get 3 points to go above Space Station. 12, 11, Space Station KIA are out. They move through to the playoffs. However, Team Empire actually hold the round advantage against DWG KIA in their matches.
It's awful in that regard, yes.
Exactly. So DWG KIA plays Space Station Gaming. Space Station are already qualified. They can choose who can go through. Essentially, they play gatekeeper. So DWG KIA, should they get any point, 1 point at all versus Space Station, they are good to go. Team Empire just cannot do it. They have to tie in points with DWG KIA to advance over them in total round count to make it to playoffs. It's going to be a difference of 1 to 2 rounds, by the way. It is such a tight squeeze, and we won't know until the end of the night.
Well, that goes to show that every single point matters, even in overtime, loss, win, it doesn't really matter. Long story short, if DWG KIA get a singular point, They're good to go. And Empire, they are hoping on the demise of DWG KIA for that game. And I tell you what, I will be on the edge of my seat because this is one of my last games. So I get to go cuddle up in my blanket and watch it because that is going to be an absolute banger.
Yeah, I know you wanted to rest, but there's no sleep.
There is no resting.
Tonight.
My heart is not resting tonight.
100%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us on Game 4. We still have 4 more to go. So, Jess, go get some rest.
I think I'm on the next
Snuggle
one.
up. Are you? Yeah, it is Game 4.
This man's trying to get rid of me early.
No, this is Game 4.
And I do Game 5. I do 5 games in a row.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. So you can snuggle up in the green room for a few minutes until we come back for the next game. So see you in a moment.